Hey guys, Anthony 4x4 Diesel. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to keep the video as short as possible. I'm going to try and not say, do you know what I mean? Or know what I mean? I'm going to try not to say and, or anything else like that. I'm just going to say words relevant to this job and this information. And it's in relation to the BFE job, big front engine, what we do on the front of the 1KDs. And you already know we do have a kit for that Monday mornings usually, but this time it's not Monday. All right, right now this video is being made almost live and it will be uploaded on a Thursday. Today, Thursday. What's the date? I don't even know, but I haven't said any of those words, have I? Anyway, I said anyway. That probably shouldn't be included in there either. So shouldn't be included either, should it? There's a lot of words that shouldn't be included. Big front engine job, replacing the water pump, timing belt and all these sort of components. I'll let you know where we're at with this one. This is kind of going to be a fair detail type video, but not the 1 hour type detail one we've got at, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, showing you how to do the job maybe in other places, but as much information as possible. So if you're not mechanically apt, you should probably not do this job, because if you stuff up here with a timing belt, that's your engine. It's going to cause a major cost or mechanical repair if you muck it up. Now, it's really easy not to muck up if you watch all my videos and you're trainable, if you know what I mean. There you go, if you know what I mean. Said it twice. It's okay, find me. Anyway, I hope you know what I mean. Had to do it a third time. Right, so there you go, we just did so as well. See all these problems we've got. So I failed. I couldn't even make a video without saying those key words that we're trying to avoid. Let's hit the reset button moving forward and see how we can improve upon that. So today is the 11th, I think, Thursday the 11th of November. We are closed on Monday the 15th of November. So if you did want to get your parts and you've been listening, and Monday is the day usually, but not this time. In Melbourne, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's certainly no global warming or anything like that happening. Any climate change, not that we would know, because we've only had decent records for probably 70 years or so, and Earth's been around for billions of years, hasn't it? But it would seem winter's stayed with us all the way through, and it's now November, middle of November, and we're getting days that are cold. We're getting some nice sunny days as well, like right now is decent. We're working outside doing this BFE job, but it's all about to go to winter again Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday's looking like there's going to be some snow down to about 800 metres, so we've booked in the day either way to go for a drive. Even if the weather changes, Monday is the day. So if you're interested in joining us, you might want to check out, just check on the Prado hospital page. You'll see where I've done a post saying, hey, this is obviously only if you're in Australia and in Melbourne sort of thing, but anywhere if your parts pushes through forward to Tuesday, right? Tuesday's the day that you send that text message, Tuesday morning, that sort of thing. Things are slowing down a bit because we used to have a really fast service, same day, bang, take your inquiry, take your payment, pack your kit and send it. But we're a lot busier now, it's just growing. We're still really good. That happens with a lot of the kits, if the payments come through straight away, if you got to me early, that sort of thing. But if, quite often we don't send until Tuesday anyway these days. So it's Tuesday midday, it's the first time we send, and then it depends how busy we are throughout the rest of the week, whether it's a Wednesday, Thursday, whether I've got assistants that can help and do the post office run. But let's get on to some information with this job. So what's in the kit? The timing belt, the idler, the tensioner, the cam seal, the bearings for those 3 pulleys, the main drive belt, the water pump, and it's the 2-piece, so that we convert it over in case, like this vehicle, it was a 1-piece pump. So it's quite a massive job if you have a 1-piece pump. Okay, now if you don't have a 1-piece pump, you don't have to do this extra work, but I'm just going to go through it again. I've mentioned it in other videos. We've got a playlist, I'm pretty sure it's called the BFE job, BFE information, that sort of thing. And you need to remove the compressor, it comes off back here, the alternator, disconnect your battery, disconnect your wires, remove the alternator back here, because all that goes over the top of the bracket of the back of the water pump. Same as the backing plate here, so the plastic backing plate has to come off. It's pretty self-explanatory once you remove it. Even better, obviously, if you watch the videos, the main one is going to be in the VIP group, obviously. for the clients. So what we do is obviously strip it all down first. So while everything's off, we put the new water pump on so that we don't wash rubbish into the engine. Then we give this radiator here a good flush, pushing all that gunk forward. It can be either really clean in a few minutes, or we can be there for half an hour and there's still dirt and debris coming out. So we spend whatever time it takes to get that, you know, basically what I do on my own vehicle till I'm happy. The water pump's in obviously to stop all those debris, but we don't want dirt and debris and bugs and bees and wasps and moths and whatever in your engine block. Excuse me, not that it would matter, but we don't want that. Once all that's done, then clean up at this side here, a little bit of degreaser, quick wash down, blow it dry. The timing belt goes on, and that's the stage you can see where it's at. The timing belt and everything's gone back on this side. The alternator and compressor's gone back on this side, and that's where it's at. The pulleys, the bearings have been pressed. Excuse me, that seat again. Anyway, only a test can tell. Those 3 pulleys and the bearings in there, they've been replaced and they've been refitted. So I thought it was a good stage to just come in and say, look, this is the job, this is what we do. So to remove the compressor off here, you don't disconnect any of your pressure lines here. Okay, do not undo these. See that? Don't undo those. That's going to cost you money. It's going to cost you a couple $100 if you undo those. You're going to need to call an aircon specialist. It's 4 bolts, these 2, and there's 2 more down there. All right, and then you just carefully put this back here in a situation where you're not twisting the hoses or damaging anything. Don't bend and break these pipes. They're really strong, but some cars you've got to be careful. General information again, we're trying to turn it from not just 1 kD into general information. If you're working with aircon pipes like these smaller ones, try not to bend them. There's a reason why they're bent carefully where they are. Make sure they're not rubbing as well on the body there. So right now I'm just sort of going okay, and when I'm done I'm going to sort of just go. You can rework the pipes. It's what it's called, rework, not bending. Rework. Let's see, I've already made a little bit more space there. I want to have like a sort of 10mm gap, the same space as what the clamp's giving it here. Perhaps in a better design there'd be another clamp there as well, whatever, but don't bend these pipes. Pipes kind of can be brittle. If you start bending pipes here, like at the bend back and forth, you're going to kink it, you're going to break it. Same thing, it's going to cost you, well, a couple $100 plus the cost of the pipe. So in some vehicles, even more. To get to the alternator, you can see you've got your top bolt here. There's another one at the bottom. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail. We've got that in other videos, and it's pretty self-explanatory. You need to unplug the plug at the back, can be difficult. Don't pull wires. You've got to carefully press the tab, wiggle the plug. You've got to disconnect this. You must disconnect the battery if this touches anywhere. Don't worry what's going on. He's upgraded it. So this one's insulated, and this one he's got a big upgrade wire. That's another story, so don't worry about that. But the key thing is, see, he's got it all zip tied together so that it can't go anywhere and end up shorting out on anything, because he doesn't want the vehicle to burn to the ground, especially after a BFE and injector replacement job, right? And all that money you've invested. So that's how to get those off. As I said before, if you're going to take your backing plate off and you get, say if you've got a 1-piece pump, one of the key things here is, this is 98 Newton meters. Crack it loose first before you take the belt off. That way everything's connected top to bottom, and you're not going to have any incidents where you hit the valves into the pistons type thing, right? So just crack it loose. Don't take it out, just crack it loose. Then you double check your timing marks, which we've obviously explained before. You can see that mark there, follow that tooth straight through to that arrow. And there's some other marks down there on the side there we've seen on some videos, and one on the crank and whatever, right? I'm not going to go into it too much. We're trying to keep it short, remember, without saying, you know, those words. I had a bit of a muck around at the start, accidentally on purpose, was it? I don't know. You figure out, did I muck up or did I do it on purpose? Anyway, anyway, that's another word we're going to take out. Anyway, so, bit of dust there. We're going to blow that off. So backing plate goes back on. When we put it back on, just there's already some sealant at the bottom there. I don't clean that off because it's really neat, the job they've done at OE factory. So I just put a really light smear on the back of the bottom of that plastic that kind of like glues, using the same grey RTV that sort of glues that cover to the old, and it's really good doing it that way. And you can see the nuts and bolts that hold that cover there. Yeah, so belt off, bolt out, gear off, bolts out. That cover comes off, and you'll see there's a couple of bolts that hold the backing part of the water pump there, and behind here you can't see them at the moment. Again, in other videos, subscribe, turn the bell on, you know the deal. Hit the like button, trying to help you out here. Share the channel, help it grow, help other people learn about their vehicles with the good information, and hopefully the complete, and as people say, explaining things well, although this is meant to be a quick one. So once you've got it all back on and the water pump, as I said, that cover goes on, bolts go on, you can put this on. Don't tighten this up too much till you've got your belt back on, so do it finger tight, just nip it. You know, don't turn this, because this camshaft will turn and push the valves into the pistons. Now, even if you did it lightly, you're probably not going to have any issues, but just avoid it. So as soon as you've got that bolt in, bang, put your tension, your idler on, put your belt on, as we've demonstrated in other time belt replacement videos. So unless you're in the VIP group, you just watch a whole heap of videos. These are going to help you anyway. If you want the full detail stuff, you know, just get the BFE kit from me, and then you're in the VIP group. Awesome group of people to be in. Bang, release the tensioner, all happy, and then once you've done that, you go over everything and double check, right? Put your 22 on the crankshaft to hold it all still. Do your 98 newton meters on this bolt, 35 newton meters on this one, and the ones on the tension, if I remember correctly, are 13. Often we just do these by hand, so you don't have to have a torque wrench like that, but you just need to understand if you're going to do that, you've got to have a good hand for the job, and a lot of people don't. So if you're a beginner, a bit of a novice, I recommend using a torque wrench. What do we say? The Norbo was pretty good value for money as well, for about $250 if you get a good price. Hit up Total Tools for a good price. That's again in other videos. We can't fit everything in one video. Some people complain I talk too much and I go on too long, but then everybody loves it. That's why they're there and they're waiting for more, so I've got to keep talking. So once we've got all this back together, it's really important to double, triple, quadruple check that you've got your torque settings correct. Not only that you've done them, that you've done the right torque settings. So you don't want to put it all back together in a big rush and then later on be thinking, oh, did I do the 90? Did I do that or not? Because don't rush it, guys. Just take it easy, double check it. The cover goes on as soon as you know you've quadruple checked these few things, these really most important things. And before you even put the cover on, once you've quadruple checked it, check your marks again. Once you know your marks are happy, then put your 22 mil and the ratchet on the crankshaft and turn the engine over. If that goes past about there, you're okay. If that just goes to there, you're okay, as long as it's still freely moving, because if it's wrong, it's going to hit a valve pretty quickly, okay, if something's not right. So there it is, that bloody so again keeps popping up. That's better than you know what I mean, isn't it? Anyway, there's another one we could get rid of. Anyway, if you like, just turn it from the 22 mil at the bottom at the crankshaft, turn it until this goes a full revolution, but don't look at these marks again. See these white marks and expect them, and you can see here we haven't even used the white marks. You can use them or you can not use them, but the marks are there to help you line up here and down there. It does help you fit the belt, but you don't have to put it on the white mark, because you just don't have to. The belt is the belt, just if anyone's not sure about that. But as soon as you turn it, it's going to end up like this and you'll never get the marks lined up again, so don't worry about that if you're worried about that. Now, I was joking, I know that the marks were lined up here and it's been turned, but I'm just trying to make the point that you don't have to use the marks, right? So I wanted to get your attention for those people that are still hanging around. You don't have to use the marks. Of course you use the marks, that's what they're there for, right? Once you're happy that all the marks are right, you can turn the engine. That's the time to put the cover on. We put a little bit of the Molykote 111 on the rubber, the seal at the back of the cover there, just to give it a little bit extra sealing here, because it's not the best. Not that it matters, but any little bit extra I think is a good option. Seal it up a bit more. Next step is, obviously we're going to double check these are done up. Put the pulley on the water pump, put the main drive belt on after the cover's on, that is. So the cover on, then these gear, then all the belts and everything here is done. Then it's a matter of getting the fan shroud and the fan back in position. Once that's done, top radiator hose goes back on, you know, reservoir goes back, and you know, it's pretty straightforward, the rest of it. It's in the rest of the videos. Hopefully you found that quite educational and informative in the shortest amount of time. And remember, we're closed on Monday the 15th, so any parts purchases, hold that one on till Tuesday, and just expect delay, especially coming up to Christmas. Things are really busy, and because of all the obvious reasons, there's shortages of things are happening slow, freight's slow. We're all good here, we've got stock and we've got everything's business as usual. It's everything that's out of our control that causes any delays here. You know, you'll get the best customer service in the world as always. Bada bing, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Catch ya.